Hiya folks, and welcome to DJ Living's Fantasy Premier League. Right folks, this will be the last video obviously before the season starts, with it starting tomorrow night if you're watching this when it goes live. Alright guys, this is going to be a bit of a short video this week, but it's a bit of a call to arms as well. At the moment we've got double figures, just low double figures in the league. I'd like to get more obviously, potentially at the end of the season if things go well and there's quite a few people doing it. There might be a little trophy or something like that. Like I said, don't quote me on it, not for definite, but if the season goes well and there's a few people in the league, maybe a little trophy is in order. Looking at pre-season so far, there's been some very interesting transfer moves. Obviously the striker positions, there's been some big moves. Nunes has started off scoring goals. Haaland has scored at 1 or 2 for Man City. Jesus seems to be on fire for Arsenal, and Kane has hit a few as well. So there's 4 strikers there straight away. None of them are going to be cheap in the market, let's face it, but all 4 looking good so far in their new teams, except for Kane obviously. Right, the format this is going to follow. I'm going to be recording every Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's going out live on a Thursday. In a few game weeks, just looking at the notes, sorry. In game week 4 and 5, game week 4 will be at the weekend, and game week 5 is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'll be missing game week 5 on here. So I'll recap, when I do the show after that, I'll recap both them weeks in the same one. But like I say, every week I'll run through some players that have played well, some players that have possibly got some easy games coming up in the next week. So maybe 1 or 2 ideas for transfers. We run through the league every week, and obviously I'll pick my team of the week as well, which will be the highest scoring player in each position in a 4-3-3 formation. So make sure you tell your friends that are into fantasy football or just into football and never played fantasy before to come and check it out. I'll put the link below in the description again of the league code and stuff like that. If you're new to fantasy football and you want to give it a go, if you go back to my first video, I showed you a little rough idea of how to actually sign up on the app for the game. You can also go to the website, which is fantasy.premierleague.com, and sign up that way. Obviously guys, this is a new segment for me. I've never done this before. If you've got any ideas you want me to run through, or any suggestions, anything you want to put, anything you want to say, don't forget to put it down in the comments box below. Like I say, if you can share the video, or if you don't know what's the video, just share the link that's in the description on your pages, and then we'll see if we can get some more in the league. I mean, if we can get a good 25-30 people plus, it does make it quite a job. And obviously we can always have a bit of banter in the comment section below as well, keeping it clean, and we'll see how the season goes. Right folks, looking at game week 1, we start off the season, as I say, on the Friday with Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Obviously Patrick Vieira going back to his old club there. Arsenal have looked good pre-season. Like I say, Jesus, they've got that number 9 up front now, scoring a few goals. Jesus looking good. Probably the favourites for that game. Palace a bit shaky, not made any big waves in the transfer market. They've managed to keep hold of Zaha this year, but is that because last season he wasn't as prolific as he has been in the past? On the Saturday, we've got Fulham at home to Liverpool. Liverpool dominant. Obviously Fulham just coming up this year. They've got a few good players. Mitrovic, can he step up this season after a great season in the Championship last year? Can he step back up to the Premier League and start scoring goals? I think he can, but against his Liverpool side, there's not a chance, I don't think, in my opinion. Liverpool an easy win for me. Next is Bournemouth at home to Villa. Another team just come up, Bournemouth. They've tried a few bits in the transfer market, same again, not really spent any big money. Villa, the same. I think they've not really been great in the transfer market this year. They've managed to keep hold of a few players, which is probably just as good. But I think that's probably a Villa win there for me. Leeds Wolves, interesting game. 2 seasons ago, both of these clubs were in the top half of the table, really pushing for Europe. Last season though, Wolves were mid-table, mediocrity. Leeds obviously struggled in a relegation battle for most of the year. Could be an interesting game. Obviously, Leeds losing Calvin Phillips in midfield is going to be quite important for them, and losing Rafinha to Barcelona as well. Two big players they've lost, and they've not really brought in any big names either. Could be an interesting game. Probably a score draw, I think, that one. Newcastle Forest. Newcastle, like I said before, the money they've got now, they've brought in some good players. Nottingham Forest, same again, just coming up from the Championship. Had a great season in the Championship last year though. Losing Jed Spence, obviously was on loan there last year for Middlesbrough. That's going to be a bit of a miss, I think, for Forest. But they have brought one or two good players, so there's a possibility there. I'm still going for a Newcastle home win though. I think Newcastle just get it because they're at home. The team still needs time to gel in Newcastle, I think, in my opinion. Spurs Southampton. Obviously, as I said in my first video, I'm a Spurs fan, so a bit biased in this one. Spurs have bought well though in this last season. I think for me, they've probably done the best deals in total. So I think that's an easy Spurs win. Southampton, I think, will struggle this year. Everton Chelsea is the last game on Saturday evening. Everton, trials and tribulations of Everton. They've got Pickford in goal, who's never really performed as a club keeper in my opinion. They've not bought that well. Still looking shaky in defence. Only just avoiding relegation last year. Probably going to be more of the same from Everton, I'm afraid. And Chelsea, although they had that bad loss against Arsenal in the pre-season, Chelsea will be a strong team. Still looking to bring in some players as well. So I think that's an easy Chelsea win for me. And then we've got some games on Sunday. We have got Leicester at home to Brentford. Interesting game, this one. Tony of Brentford, I think, might score a few goals this year again. But can he step up to even better than last year? Vardy, Barnes. For me, Harvey Barnes. I love Harvey Barnes at Leicester, great player. But Maddison, obviously, he's on shaky ground at the moment. Tottenham are looking to go in for him. So they're a good team, Leicester. Got some good players. Shaky at the back though. I think they're a bit hit and miss. A draw. Probably a score draw, I think there. Man United Brighton next game. Man United, interesting off season. They've not done that well. Brought in a few players, lost a few players. There's talk of Rashford and Martial coming back into the team, which will hopefully get some good results for them. I'm a big fan of Rashford. But this will be a tough start to the season. Graham Potter's done a great job since taking over at Brighton a few seasons ago, and I think this will still be a Man United win, but only by the odd goal. 1-0, 2-1. Last game, West Ham Man City. The last game of the opening weekend. West Ham looked impressive the last couple of seasons, but this Man City team, I think, is going to be a bit unbeatable this year. They've got that final now that everyone was talking about, that number 9. They've now got Haaland up front, with De Bruyne there as well. They've got Calvin Phillips. They've got players throughout that squad now that will have improved that team even more than last year. So I think opening weekend, the champions are going to get a 2-0 win. Haaland scoring, hopefully, because he's in one of my fantasy teams. So yeah, that's the rundown of this first weekend that's coming up, guys. Hope you've enjoyed what I've put out so far. Like I say, if you've got any suggestions, just pop them down in the comments below, and I'll take on board everything you say, and I'll reply as soon as I can. All I've got to say is, if you did like it, can you please share the video, subscribe to the channel for upcoming weeks, and let's have a good season. So like I say, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, why not subscribe to the channel for the following weeks? If you have enjoyed the video, guys, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for the further weeks, and if you could share this please on your social media accounts, and like I say, we can try and get this league bigger and better and have some fun along the way. I hope you guys enjoy the first week of the season. Good luck in this opening week on the Fantasy Premier League as well, and I shall see you next week.